Nice to see you. Let me know when you're ready. All righty, how's everybody doing tonight? Feeling good? A little chilly. We got one person wearing sandals in here, and it's pretty cold outside. Walking up like it's freezing. Yep, so I gotta keep them warm. You got the baby blanket over here. Not kidding. Well, thank you guys for all coming out tonight. I know it's a Thursday night. Also, it's Waste Management Week too as well. So I know you guys could be out partying, having a great time. There's concerts going on, a lot of other crazy stuff, but you're here tonight, so I appreciate you guys all for showing up. A lot of you new faces. For some of you guys that don't know who we are, myself is Blake Hahn. I'm founder and co-founder with Michael. We call him Michael Law with Ideal. What we've created and what we're doing with Ideal is we've created structured systems and processes to help you master your habits so you can master your life in all areas of your life, not just in business, but in your personal life. And we utilize that through a book and a tool and also an app that's going to be being released. You guys are going to see some QR code placements and things around here. Please scan those. Some of them are to the Master Your Habits, Master Your Life 12-week, 90-day program. You guys are going to see these ones up here. You guys scan this one. Please go join the app waitlist. We are launching the app in March, and it will be launched at the Secret Knock event March 17th. So very excited about that. But you guys will see some of these QR codes and everything around. Also, just a couple ground rules. Bathrooms over here for some of the new people that just walked in. There's waters in the back if you guys need any waters. And if you guys need to step outside to either take a call or anything, you guys can step outside in the back. But again, thank you guys for all coming out tonight. We're really excited. We're just getting started with Ideal and launching and really changing people's lives. The gentleman that came out today, he flew in today at 9:30 this morning. One thing I can tell you about this guy is I gotta have some, he's a jokester. Who's met James Dixon so far in here? Look at this guy. He's over here. He's like, yeah, I already know he's a jokester. So you guys are gonna know he's fun. He likes to have fun. You guys will get to know him a lot. Please come and shake his hand and get to meet him when we go on break and everything. He's got an amazing story, an amazing background. But all to say is this guy flew in at 9:30 this morning. We talked to him last week, and we asked if he could come out to our event. And within just 2 seconds, he said, yes, I'll do that for you. Now, what he was sharing with me this morning at breakfast was he pulls up his phone, and he starts sliding through, and he's all, you see that name at the top? What does that say? And it says Tony Robbins. And he starts scrolling, and I'm like, wow, okay, so you guys are talking a lot. And then then he shows me the message that says, hey, man, I'm heading out to an island. This was just 2 days ago. I would love for you to come on out with me. And he was supposed to fly out today. And what did you tell Tony Robbins?
I made a commitment to be here with these guys.
So my thing is for him, and this is hitting deep for us and everything because it just shows a lot, but for him to stay making the commitment when Tony Robbins said he'd fly him out to an island to come join him, and sometimes just think to yourself, what would you really do? But that tells a lot about this man and who he is and his character and what he's really doing with us. So I just want to say thank you for coming out, flying out, and turning down an opportunity that obviously could maybe take you to a whole nother level within your life or whatever you're doing. So I'm really thankful for having you here tonight. Thank you for flying out. And not only that, guys, this guy gets paid $30,000 to $60,000 every time he goes and speaks. And he came out here and did this for free for us. So I want you guys to know what he's being paid to do and the value and what you guys are going to get from him tonight is worth $30,000 to $60,000 plus and upwards. And he flew out here for us tonight. He loves what we're doing with Ideal. He's getting behind us with Ideal, and we're all just getting started together. So I want to bring up the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. James Dixon.
I'm going to use the chair for an example for a moment. So first of all, it's an honor to be here. You know, there were so many different times and places I could have been somewhere. But then there were destiny moments, places you have to be. This was a destined moment. It's not by accident we're together. We're in this place for something meaningful. I've been up since about 2 this morning. Had to get on a plane, fly in, and had a layover and all this stuff to get here. But I got here, and the important thing that for me, after all that I've done, is to pour out something from the heart to the heart. So if you will with me, let me just give you a little bit of background. As he was giving my intro, actually, Michael and these guys had me kind of as this journey has gone for me. I worked in a factory for General Motors. And as I was working for General Motors, I was working on a line. 17 miles a night I traveled back and forth on a line, working, putting on parts, building trucks. I was building trucks, but my purpose was really to be building people. That's what I was born for. But as I was working there, I just kept doing it because it was safe. I got six-figure income. I became a team leader. I had people that reported to me. I could sit down all night. I could do absolutely nothing, lose brain cells, lose sound, some hearing on my right side because they had a rule that one ear had to be exposed and one ear had to be covered. So I'm sitting there doing this and I'm thinking I'm doing a great thing. I had six-figure income. I'm working, but I'm missing everything my children are doing because I work second shift. And so I was selling my whole future for six figures. What changed? I had been doing something on the side, and there had been different crumbs across the course of my life that was leading me to an opportunity. I just couldn't see it. First opportunity that was ever given to me was in a chair. And the reason why I say it was in a chair, I'm talking about a wheelchair. You see, when I was born, one leg was shorter than the other. They couldn't figure out what was wrong. And so at 3 months of age, I had my first surgery. Every 6 months until I was 11, I had a surgery. I had 33 surgeries leading up to when I turned 11. The chair was going to confine me or even define me because it was all I was known by. Everybody knew me by as the crippled child on the porch with my grandmother. And I lived with my grandmother because my mother was only 18 when she had me, and I was a kid with disabilities, and she couldn't take on the responsibility. And my father only had one thing to say: there's no way I could make a cripple. You can't be mine. We're the same height. We both have freckles. I look like him. There's no way that you could say that I'm not his, but he couldn't identify with the idea that something from him could come out imperfect. My grandmother had a different view, though. That no matter how many flaws you might think you have, you're designed perfectly in the eyes of God, just as you are. And so she began to try to build me. But the first thing I would have to do is realize that the chair was an opportunity. Because while I was in the wheelchair, I had learned a point where I could lean back, make wheelies, I could do all kinds of things. I have fun in it. I could put the brakes on one side, spin it around. I could make it home. And that's the one thing about being confined, is that you can get comfortable by being confined. And then you get defined by that comfortability, and to the point that that's all you've had because every other muscle is atrophied. You lose the ability to get up. You lose the desire to get up because it's so comfy. But there was something about being in the chair that wasn't comfortable. You see, every time they did a surgery for me, I thought this was going to lead to another opportunity. I'd get healthy, I'd get stronger. And so here it is. After the surgery, I do the rehab, and I'm like, man, finally I'll start walking. That wasn't happening. I ended up doing one more surgery, but this surgery took me from Indiana, where I was born, to Chicago, where the children's hospital was. It's called Shriners. It was my chance to get out of the chair. So here I am. Grandma said, baby, they're saying after your surgery, you won't be in the chair anymore. And my thought was that if I'm in this chair, though, if that's it, that's all I've ever known, I'm going to get out of it. But then there's a second thought, right? It's all I've ever known. And sometimes we get so comfortable with what we've always known, we get afraid to try something. That's why when they come to you and they say, listen, there are some habits you got to break. There are some times you're going to have to invest in yourself, and you go, I've never done that before. Yes, you have. You've gone to school and you've had people year after year tell you what to think and believe, and only for you to get out here and realize they didn't equip you with the skills for you to make it. You said, I went to college, I invested money into it for a whole semester, 2 semesters, sometimes 4. Someone got a master's, and you realize I invested in myself, and then I got out here and it didn't do it. Because what they could not give you is that habit-forming skill set that leads to winning. I had perfected going to rehab. I had perfected going right back to the chair. And so as a result of it, when they gave me the opportunity to get out of it, I said no, because this is home now. And they were like, James, we're going to do a surgery, one more. And they did not tell me that they were going to amputate my right leg. And so I sit here before you today as an amputee. And this was a source of shame. It was the very thing that my father denied my existence for. It's the very thing that kept me in the wheelchair, the limitations of my leg. And they told me that they were going to bring me to the hospital, but they never told me they were going to leave me with less parts when I left. Sometimes in developing who you need to become, they have to cut away some things that you've grown accustomed to. There are some habits that you've developed that are detrimental to your future. Sometimes it's self-sabotaging things. You don't even realize that you've created these habits. Sometimes it's the thought process. For me, it was that you have this disability. Boy, you're born a cripple, you'll be a cripple. For somebody else, it's like, because you're black, you will never make it because white man is holding you down. And so you start to believe that there's multiple races when there's only one race, it's human. Everything else is ethnicity and culture. And so when you start to believe something, it becomes who you are. And so you have to challenge that and say that just because my father was limited by something doesn't mean I have to. Habits become who you are. And for me, it was a habit to get into the chair because it was comfortable. And so I get to the hospital and they tell me, they pull me aside. My mom and dad come into a room with me and they tell me that I'm going to have to stay at this hospital. It wasn't a big deal to be left in the hospital because it was all I ever know. I've gone through the process of going to the hospital, having a surgery, waiting for rehab, getting picked up, and then going back. So I was accustomed to it. But this is the first time they took me from Indiana to Chicago, and they left me. Before, I always had grandma there for me. It's like a safety blanket. She was always there to encourage me and provide me with a sense of self when no one else was there for me. And so she would always make it comfortable for me to get into my chair. Here's the thing. When I got to the Shriners, they put me into a room, and I'm going to tell you about something that changed my whole life. In my room, I had two roommates. I had a kid named Matt and a kid named Gilbert. Matt was on this side of me, Gilbert on the other. Matt was the first kid I'd ever seen with a loving set of parents, mom and dad there absolutely every day. He was 8 years of age and he was still in an incubator. And by being in the incubator, his parents would touch him through gloves and they said he wasn't even supposed to live this long. Every day that Matt had was a blessing and a miracle because he was not supposed to be able to live with his disabilities. Yet he had the most gregarious, outgoing personality. He was in a box, but he wasn't confined by that box. His personality was huge. I enjoyed talking to him absolutely every day. From my chair, I sit there and talk to him. When I got into bed, he was beside me and I could talk to him and he talked back. And we had all this interaction, but on the other side, we had a kid who was 12. He's the oldest in the room. His name is Gilbert. See, Gilbert had an accident in the projects called Cabrini Green in Chicago. Gilbert had been thrown off of a top floor and left him paralyzed from the neck down. So Gilbert was the oldest, and in order for us to be able to communicate with each other, they had put a mirror on the ceiling. And so in the mirror, when he's laying on his back, as he always does, we're able to talk, and he could hear what Matt said sometimes. Sometimes he couldn't, so I'd repeat what Matt said, and I was the middleman. Sometimes you get caught in the middle between two different folks and stuff, and you got to translate stuff. Now, watch. There are times in your life where you've got two different people giving you two different thoughts, and oftentimes you have two different coaches that are competing for your attention, and you don't know which one it is. One of them will sometimes confine you with what they say, and the other ones will paralyze you. You've got to find and assign yourself to the right people, so when you get the ideal coach, you got the right person giving you the right habits so that you're not in a box of opinions of what didn't work, nor are you paralyzed with the concept of what you can't do. This is about developing habits that are for winners. I'm laying in the bed, I'm talking to them, I'm communicating, and I realized that was already being given the gifts that God had for me from a bed. That I could talk with one person that was a white kid in a box, and I could to a black kid who had been thrown out of the balcony. And I could communicate both with people no matter where they are, whether you're confined or you're defined by what you can't do. And yet I didn't realize that was the first spark God gave trying to show me that I had a destiny. Gilbert, we talk all night long, right? Have conversations. One day, though, Matt gets rolled out to go to surgery. We'll see you later, buddy. Okay. He's gone. A couple hours goes by, and his parents come in, and they thank us for being friends with Matt. I figured maybe he's still just delayed in the moment. Matt will be back. Matt never did come back. His mom and dad left us with the teddy bears that they'd bought for their son. And they thanked us for being his friend every day of his life. And so here I was confined by the idea that kids die. And I'd never seen that before. My friend, the kid who had all this joy, is gone. Now, what do I do with that? Do I waste the fact that I had that relationship, or do I allow that to become a fuel in my life? We have too many things that happen in our lives where people come in and they try to share with us or share their joy or leave you with something, and we walk away with it. While I'm talking to you, somebody might be thinking about, did I turn the lights off, or do I have to go? I haven't eaten today. I've got other stuff. Man, but if you can pay attention to the things that I'm giving you, I promise you, I will instill something in you that will last the rest of your life. Matt died after leaving the room, and we were left with a teddy bear that defined who he was. I still have that bear. When he left, I was afraid because I never had seen anybody die, and the idea of my friends not coming back, and there was no one there to comfort me. I'm 11 and this happened, and I'm afraid. No mother, no father, no grandmother, just me and Gilbert, and a nurse that comes in to check to see how we're doing. There's a problem that happens in our lives. Oftentimes, we have tragedy that happens, and we mark our lives by a tragedy. Someone dies that was close to us. Someone dies that was meaningful, and we stop caring. We stop giving. We stop trying. We stop connecting. You got to open yourself up, and you got to leave the grave, because the one thing about the grave is that it's always going to be there. The way that we are supposed to respond to tragedy is I use that as fuel to get me to my next destination. If you've had your heart broken, if you've got some things going on, if you felt like throwing in the towel yourself, you got to realize the towel should never be thrown in. Use that towel to wipe the sweat off your brow and try one more round. All of us will go through tragedy, but it will not stop you unless you stop. This kid's life was now sacrificed for me to grow from something. He died so that he could live something inside of me, so I could be a spark plug and share who his story is, and so that his name never died. But I would have to get off the bed my damn self. But what about Gilbert? I'm going through it. I know he is too. I'm talking to him through the mirror. And then one day he gets really excited and he said, "James, do you know my mom's coming?" And I was like, "Oh man, that's good." Because neither one of us have seen our family, and we've been in the hospital for some time. He said, "My mom's finally coming, man. I'm so excited." I saw them brush his hair and prepare him and all that stuff, and he was so excited. Mom's finally coming. And so she finally shows up, and as she's coming in, I see his excitement. I'm watching in the mirror on the ceiling. And they go ahead and they grab and they close the curtain to give privacy. But what kind of privacy is it if there's a mirror on the ceiling? So I'm watching, and his mom does this. She goes, "Gil, I came to talk to you. This is what I got. I can't do it no more. You see, I got to live my life too." And they said, "You ain't gonna walk no more, no way." You see, baby, I gotta live my life. I can't come out here all the time and see how you're doing. I can't spend my whole life coming out here trying to talk to you and all that stuff, or take you home. What am I gonna do with you? You can't even do anything. You're paralyzed, baby. There's nothing I can do. All it's gonna do is waste my time. I ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. I ain't gonna be confined because you can't do nothing. So, baby, I'm just letting you know now, this is the last time I'm coming. These people are going to take care of you from here. Gilbert starts to call out for his mom. As she turns to walk away, she pushes through the curtain. She's gone. And he's begging her, Mama, please. I won't be bad no more. Please, please. And the only thing that works on him is his mouth, his head, and he starts trying to hold his breath to take his life. He's doing everything he could because he had lost his will to live. And I'm laying there, I'm watching all of this, and I'm like, you okay? And he won't communicate. And I've learned that a lot of time that happens in the way that we deal business with each other. We get you into a room, we're trying to talk to you, find out what your why is so we can motivate you. Who have you been hanging around? Make sure you're with the right people. And then you get upset about something. Instead of communicating, you shut down because somebody else walked out of your life, not realizing that there's somebody in the same situation willing to stay there with you and is begging you and sees you as you really are through the mirror, that you still got value, but you won't be open because of what somebody else has done. And so you turn and walk away and think that everybody's done. You shut down because one person walked away. Because the business that bad, the last coach didn't fulfill things. Oh, it costs too much. We start getting these wrong beliefs and ideas. So let me tell you what happens. One of the nurses who didn't have children, who had been taking care of Gilbert every day, decided that if this boy doesn't have a mama and I can't have kids, I will be his mother. The mom walked out, a nurse walked in, and the nurse was going to be a better mom than he had ever had. You never know that when some things leave your life, what can open up to make your life better. But you got to be willing to embrace and learn something. If somebody challenges you and pushes you to face something that you didn't want to face, it's not because they're trying to embarrass you, but to pull out something that's better on the inside of you. Sometimes your coach can see what's locked in that you won't let out. But if that thing ever gets on, if you ever get a view of what you can be, if he would have looked in the mirror and saw that there was more love around him than he's ever had in his life, her leaving, he would have said, good riddance. But he couldn't because he was emotionally tied to something that wasn't tied to him. But I'm still there. And I've got two things that have happened. Kids die or you get abandoned. And my mom and dad dropped me off and I don't have my grandmother around me. The surgery happens. I come out of surgery. And without them telling me, they had taken my leg. My leg was short on one side. There was so much scar tissue. It wasn't effective. It was dying. But I was attached to it. It was attached to me, and I didn't want to lose it because it was all I've ever known. Sometimes we can be so connected to what we were that we don't realize what we can be. When the nurse came in, was trying to get me to calm down, I am hurt and offended that they've taken my leg and there's nobody to support me, nobody to comfort me, nobody explained to me that I'm not going to die. My parents haven't abandoned me. There's somebody that cares about me, and the loss of my limb opened me up to become the best man that I could become. I just can't see it because I'm still stuck in the immature version of me at 11. Now at 50, I look back and the best gift God gave me was to take that leg from me. Because I never would have got out of the chair. I would never have been here. I would have never understood that I needed to live a life big enough for Matt. I needed to walk long enough for Gilbert. And I needed to speak loud enough for you to hear me. The opportunity. I'm sitting there and the nurse is talking to me. And she's like, James, I know you're upset at the loss of your leg, but listen to me. You're going to walk. You're going to run. Do you like basketball? And I'm like, yeah, I do. She said, one day you'll play basketball. You'll do all these things. And I started listening to her and I started believing it. And in just that moment, my mom shows up after the amputation. She walks in. She gets in there. And she was upset about one thing, and it goes, the fact that she had heard I had a bad attitude towards everybody the moment I found out my leg was taken. So she came to correct me or check me for my attitude. She walks in as a disciplinarian, not as a nurturer, and she sees the nurse telling me what I can be. She looks at me and she was like, "You listening to this?" And she looks at the nurse and says, "Don't give my son false hope." You see, he's never done anything. You talking about this boy running when he has never ran before. You talking about him walking, he ain't ever taken no steps before. He's 11, he ain't ever done all that. The boy's been a cripple, the boy will be a cripple. He better understand he's a cripple. You're gonna have to use your mind. You don't have a body to use. And she tells me that, and I look back at the nurse, and my mom said, "Look at me, I'm your mom." So I turn, I look back at my mom, and she says, "Say that you're a cripple." And I look back at the nurse, and my mom slapped me and said, "Say it." And I said, "I'm a cripple," and I gave up. I gave up everything because I was afraid of her, but I was also afraid of losing her. What if she leaves me like Gil's mom? I'm sitting there, and there's a witness to my man is looking up, and he sees in the mirror that my mom is making me say that I'm a cripple. And I'm saying to you right now, there are people who are in your life that still ring in your head long after you should have evicted them out of your mind. There are limiting people and limiting voices. If you're the type of person that somebody compliments you and you look away, whoever it is that did that to you, that made you believe that you can't receive a positive word, you got to evict them out of your house and life and mind right now. I don't care if it was mom, it was dad, if it was a cousin, if it was an ex, if it was a friend, whoever it is that tried to brand you with something that doesn't fit, they have to go. There are habits you have to develop about who you will be. And one of them is getting rid of a negative self-image. Just because you haven't done some things yet doesn't mean you won't. My resume says I'll never walk, I'll never run, I'll never play basketball. But the same word resume is the same as the word resume in letters. Whatever it is that it was God's intention for you to become, He can put on play and you can pick up with the original design for you. You just didn't realize that was the plan all along. And so me sitting there, I needed a higher authority to build me up again. And when I needed it, it showed up in the personage of my grandmother. You see, she lived in Anderson, Indiana. She came to Chicago, Illinois, and she couldn't read or write and didn't have a driver's license, could not drive or any of those things. She got on a Greyhound, drove all the way, the road all the way there, got there, and had to face all kind of insecurities in order to get there to see about her baby. She had to admit to somebody, "I can't read. Can you make sure I get there? I don't have a way of signing stuff. Can you make sure we do this?" She had to go through the idea of going to a place she'd never been before, go through Chicago with no security by herself in her 80s. Get there so she could see about her baby. Because she had to go correct what her daughter had done and said to me, "You're not a cripple. You're a Superman. Baby, you just got to overcome your kryptonite. Whatever it is that you are dealing with, you got to realize that the strength in you is greater than the things that come against you. That's why I need you to understand that whatever you face must face you. But in order to face it, you got to realize there is a greater strength that you have than you've ever seen on display. And it wouldn't come out if you weren't putting under pressure. If my mom doesn't slap me and tell me I couldn't, my grandmother doesn't show up to tell me I could. If she doesn't tell me I could, I don't get up and try rehab. I don't get the mindset to get up and go. And so I got a basketball scholarship to go to college. I did all those things. Everything she said I wouldn't be, I began. And then I learned something. You cannot live off the fuel of proving somebody wrong. Because the fuel of anger eats up more than just, it eats up your inside. It eats up your mindset. Prove them wrong is to make them your icon, make them an idol, to make them more important than the image that God gave you about you. Proving somebody wrong, you'll never get that validation. You know, when I got my scholarship, I came home, I said, "Look, I got a basketball scholarship. I did this, I proved." She never said, I'm sorry. She never apologized. So the very validation I was looking for, I never would have got if I were only focused on the people with the idea of proving them wrong. You know what you have to do? Stop worrying about trying to prove people wrong and just prove yourself right. That means you got to get those habits and be able to speak, write down goals and chase those things down like it's oxygen, like I need it for my second win. And if you can get to your second win, you can get to your WIN. But you got to get to the second win. That means you got to fatigue all that stuff you used to know and be willing to open up and get the disciplines and rely on techniques that work. You got to have it, the ideal understanding of what really is necessary for you to go from one level to the next. How do I know it works? Because I had to let go of the chair to grab my opportunities. I had to let go of the idea that they said I was a cripple and realize that I am not defined by what I can't do. I am not the sum of my parts. I'm more than that. I could lose every part of me and still have more value. That every part of who I am is not defined by the physique. It is defined by the mindset. It's defined by the spirit of a man. What you are is unbeatable if you can ever uncap. When I was working at the factory, going there every day, I missed everything for security. When the security blanket was taken off, I had to hustle, I had to grind. And then I looked back over my life. What do I have if I don't have that job? I had the same skill set that was being instilled in me from childhood. The ability to speak to people who were in the worst of situations, confined in the box of concepts, or paralyzed with fear, with people who will walk away from you when you need them. Learning to be able to hear the voice of sound judgment, even if someone tries to slap bad things into you. You have a choice. I mentioned this earlier to a group and I mentioned it now. I use Superman, so I'm going to use the same analogy in this way. There is no difference between a superhero and a villain. Both of them have superpowers, super abilities. The difference is one will punish everybody for what was done to him. That's the reason why some people won't even allow you in their life. They become toxic and all this stuff because they want to punish everybody for what somebody else did. And no one should have to pay the tax for a bill they weren't involved with. I didn't have anything to do with the real estate deal you were list in. If it didn't work out, maybe it was the wrong neighborhood. Maybe they didn't have the value you placed on it. This place here is different. Maybe it can be like this. Realize that the villain who always wants to make people pay could have made a different decision. They could have said that I realized that what happened to me doesn't have to happen to anybody else. And for that reason, I'll fight for other people. When you're willing to fight for other people, you become a symbol of something. You become a symbol of hope. You become an inspiration. When I began to tell my story about what I went through, I started going to the hospitals. And I would sit one-on-one with a 9-year-old boy named Jeremiah that had cancer. And then by the time he turned 10, they had to take his leg. And I was there to talk to him and build him up. I had another guy who was transitioning. He was dying because he was a veteran, and I'm at the VA hospital, and he didn't want to die alone, and he didn't want to die not whole. I said, what do you mean? He said, they took my leg, and they said because I can't keep doing dialysis, they tried to send me home, but I don't have a family. And he said, the only thing I wish I could have had my leg, I want to die whole. I don't want to die and not have it. So I was like, hey, is there any way that he can get his leg? And they were like, no. So I made some more calls, and I got a process to put one together. And I said, I don't care what it takes, man, if I got to pay it out of my own pocket. But they ended up donating a leg, and we ended up bringing it to him. And it's on my Instagram, you'll see. And he was like, I'm a Harley fan. So I even went by the Harley store, got a sticker, put the sticker on it, and put it on him. And when we put the leg on him, I shook his hand. He says, thank you. People came in from on the outside and clapped for him. And his thank you were his last words. Man's dreams fulfilled, wishes granted. I also end up in a situation where death is still a reality. I was talking to a guy named Pat who had lost everything. And so he'd take a bunch of pills, went outside, shot himself. When he shot himself, he survived it because it was so cold, he froze out there, but it kept him alive. The ambulance gets there, they take him to the hospital, and the frostbite had destroyed his fingers and his legs. And so here it is, the bullet did not hit his brain, but it did affect his vision, it affected everything, but they could not put him under to do the amputations because of the pills. So he had to remain wide awake while they amputated both legs. He had to just grin and bear it. And so then they said, James, can you go talk to him? I go in and talk to him. And he's got phantoms. Does anybody know what phantom is? You see, a phantom pain is they take the legs off and you still feel pain in them. It's so strong in the mind that you can't get rid of the fact that I've got a cramp even though you don't have a leg. So one of the things that we do to fix that is we go grab a mirror and we place a mirror between your legs and they'll put a prosthetic on one side and let you look to the side. And what happens in the mirror? Both legs appear in the mirror. By seeing both legs in the mirror, the mind relaxes and allows you to get rid of the pain. What does that teach us? That whatever it is that you have gone through, it's all mental and can be addressed. But in order to address it, the mind must see it, and then the eyes see it, and then you go out and achieve it. All of a sudden, both legs are back. That means in an ideal setting, you can see things that no one else saw because it gives you a mirror to see what's possible. But in order to do so, you got to be able to look differently. You have to try concepts that you hadn't heard of in order to get rid of phantoms. And the thing about phantom is not real. Most of us are limited or frozen with our decision making because of some phantom fear. I don't know if I put this money out here, what if my car breaks down? If I put this money out here, if you live in fear, you'll never know freedom. Freedom comes. You chase your passion, money will follow you. I promise you. It seeks out its own level. People will follow where there's a passion. I'm going here, there, working with these people. And what happens? A company reaches out and says, can you come speak to us? I speak to them. What happens? Pandemic happens. I'm there speaking to a small group and we're locked in. But so are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And because they are in the same hotel, some of the guys come down and they come hear this guy speak for $125. That's what they paid me to go to Pittsburgh to speak to about 1,000 people. That's all they paid me. But I spoke from my heart, not for the fee. Just so happened more people heard me. My first gig went for $125. Second, paid me much more than that. But I thought it was a whole lot to get $2,000 because I didn't understand my potential. But God has shown me that if you step out in faith and do the right thing, I will honor it. I only started the YouTube channel because when I went to Jeremiah, when I went to Pat, when I went to these guys, I couldn't be everywhere at one time. So we started the channel where I can make videos and keep them motivated so that they can be encouraged until I could get to them again. Listen to the channel. And so we came up with the term absolute motivation, motivation that moves you. Because it was about getting them to move again, believe again, get out the chair, all those things. And next thing I know, everybody's listening to it because I went after my passion and I found that there was a crowd waiting for it. My opportunity came because I got out of the chair. But in order to get me to be consistent and to be passionate and be real, someone laid down their life. And someone watched somebody walk out my life. And what I learned from that is that you've got to take advantage of people, the time that you have with people while you have it, because tomorrow's not promised. I don't even have a sales pitch to say, hey, we're offering this, don't do this. I don't do that, but I can tell you this. If you've ever contemplated quitting this program, quitting the ideal setting, you're quitting on yourself. The only thing you need to quit is stop quitting. Quit quitting. Stop doing the quitting habits. Stop setting yourself up for failure. Trust the process. You are learning, you are growing, and I promise you, proximity will bring you more than what you can imagine. Let me tell you what proximity did. It got me not to spend time with someone that, even if they could advance me, this was advancing me, because this fed my house. This feeds me because I get to meet you. I get to instill in you. I get to pass along something to you to try to impact your life for the rest of your life. I hope you always remember Matt, Gilbert, James, the fact that from an infancy, God was already showing me what I could be. I just didn't know it. Here's the thing. Sometimes your blessings will come delayed. I did all that work with people one-on-one, and I became known as an amputee advocate. Any of you guys ever watch The Bachelor, Bachelorette? There's a guy there named Cam Ayala that was on season 6, season 5, something like that. There's only 2 of them, but he was on Hannah's season. And because I've been working with people, I get a phone call and they say, hey, listen, we have a guy that's on The Bachelor that's going to lose his leg. They're wondering if you have time to mentor him. So ABC reaches out and I end up meeting Cam Ayala. I meet him and he said they're going to take my leg because I have lymphedema and there's nothing they can do. They're going to take it above the knee and I don't think I can handle it. And I'm uniquely designed to be able to mentor him through every part of the process because I now have 30 plus years of experience. And I started pouring into him. 2 weeks after losing his leg, I had him at Rice University doing ups and backs on one leg with crutches. They're like, man, why you got him out there? Because if he stays in that bed, if he stays in that chair, he will have made a choice. But now they said, but it's going to take a long time for him to be able to walk or run. 2 months later, we had a leg on him. 3 months later, we were running. 5 months later, he climbed his first mountain. The only reason why he did it is because he had a coach in his life that didn't tell him he couldn't do it. But I told him he could do it because I had done it. I was ideally designed to be able to be in his life for just a moment like that. Next thing I know, I end up having all these other things happen. I come to Secret Knock. I end up meeting people. I stand on stage. I share my story. I leave there a month later. My whole life changed. I decided to write a book. I wrote the book. In 24 hours, I sold 144,000 copies on the YouTube channel that had grown because people were watching the content I made for one person, Matt and Gilbert. And everyone else eavesdropped and found that it was good for everyone. The idea is this: each and every one of you are specifically handcrafted by God with a talent. But in order to get that talent to go to work, you got to put in work. And the work that you put in will be good for everyone. The labor is ready. The ideal setting for me, guys, is to have a moment with you rather than a moment with a celebrity. Because here is where I get to honor that grandmother that made the journey. She came for me through sacrifice. I came to you in sacrifice. Thank you for letting me come to the ideal setting.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All righty, wow. I don't know if I can follow that. What do you guys think? Yeah. Great, great. All right, guys, we're going to break out for about 15 minutes. For any of the people who just walked in, we got bathrooms right here, water bottles in the back. Those doors can open up while the fire's lit. 15 minutes, we're going to be coming back for the hot seat and getting to know each other. So open it up. Mike, can you hit the music on there? All righty, see you guys in 15 minutes. Alrighty, how's everybody doing? You all better grab some names and numbers. Everybody get to meet somebody? Alrighty. Well, this is the fun part. For those of you that are shy, we're going to break you out of your shell today. Everyone's going to speak tonight. So we like to basically, we're gonna go around the room. The reason why we like to host these events is not just for us, so we can promote and show you what Ideal is and blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is up here, but I'll tell you guys about this in just a second. That's not what this is really here for. What we're really here for is we want to help connect you guys. You guys might be needing some help in some certain area inside of your business. You guys might be needing some advice somewhere in your business. You guys might be struggling where someone else is struggling in their business, and you might be struggling where someone else offers something that you need help in your business that might be sitting in this room. Do not come to this event and don't go not talk to people and grab names and numbers and find out what they do. You want to find out what it is that they do. You want to grab their name and number and see how they could possibly help you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around the whole entire room. Each individual, you guys will stand up. All we want to know is your name, where you're from, and what it is that you do. And what it is that you do. So we're going to go all the way around the whole room. And your ask. That's what it was. You saw me pause too, huh? So, and your ask, and I want you guys to be clear on your ask. What the ask means, what is your ask? What do you need help in your business right now? So for example, we have an education platform. Right now, one of the asks that we would need is anybody that has any connections to schools or colleges or anything out there, please connect us with them. That's my ask. So for your business, you need to make sure you know what your ask is, and it doesn't matter whatever it is that you do. I don't care if you work a job and you don't own your business, where can you get help? It doesn't even have to be in the business. It might be in your personal life. It could be personal development, it could be any of those things. So please make it quick, guys. Don't take too long. This is our biggest event and most people in the room right now tonight, so keep it in a nutshell. Again, name, where you're from, what it is that you do, and what is your ask. So we have Mike.
We'll start with Jacob.
This is, we're gonna please pass this mic around. You can speak into it. You guys don't have to walk up to the front. We're exactly where you're at. You guys can just stand up and look around. You don't have to clip it or nothing, bro. Hold it like a mic. Yep, you're good to go.
Cool. My name is Jacob Strickland. I'm from Gilbert, Arizona. And what I do is I build sales teams. So I work for a gentleman named Carlos Reyes, and I build out his internal sales organizations. I guess what my ask would be, if anybody knows anybody that's interested in getting into sales, entry-level sales, whatever it may be, give me a call and I'll train them, develop them, and make them a killer salesperson.
Hi everybody, my name is Brian. I'm originally from Riverside, California, live in Gilbert, Arizona now. I work with Jacob, so I was one of the original guys that he hired on. I started solar, now do internal sales with Carlos Reyes as well. My biggest ask is if you guys know anybody who's really just trying to grow and scale their business, that's the service that we're offering them right now, and I would love to connect with you to see if there's a way that I or my team could be of service to you.
If you guys want, since your backs to that, you guys could actually just come up here real quick if you want. This guy's looking good in a suit.
Thanks, guys. It's Chris with a K. Nice to meet you. I actually live here locally in Chandler, so my business is actually helping people figure out how to get their time back when you're overworked and that kind of thing. So the thing I like to do is actually, I have a very vast network. I've been doing that for about 25 years. So if you need something and you need a connection, let me know. I know tons of businesses that need good sales teams and people that actually need good, remember what you do? Remember what you do? Yes, design. So I have a person that can help her and help her find new clients, things like that. So I usually do that, and then my ask is really just get me in front of the people that you would want me to know, if I'm happy to help them. So other than that, yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, my name's Charisma. I am from Denver, Colorado. I am a consultant, so I do brand and business development as well as wardrobe consulting. And my ask would be if anyone has any advice on how to get other people to understand the value of hiring a creative instead of thinking of doing it themselves, that would be amazing.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm from Phoenix. I am starting a nonprofit and my coaching business, and I guess my ask would be just figuring out how to get started on everything.
All right. Hey, it's good.
Yeah, fine. Hi guys, I am Gino. I'm local here from Phoenix. I am currently waiting tables at a restaurant in Sky Harbor Airport, And I guess my ask is, because I don't want to stay in the restaurant business, but I want to continue building my relationships like I do at a restaurant. So if you know how I can 10x myself without losing my relationship building, I would love to make connections with you guys.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey gang, I'm Alex from Detroit, Michigan, and myself and this guy right here run Astro Creative. We're a creative agency that fixes brands' image online, and we also work with marketing agencies or ad agencies to fulfill their content needs. So, long story short, video production. Everybody needs it, everybody wants it, and we can help you with it. Oh, ask. As of this moment, I think we're doing all right. We're gonna talk for sure. And
There's always an ask.
The ask right now is we're looking to expand our network of editors. Hopefully it'll be internal. And we need to meet some more people who are shooters, so video people, like that guy over there, that we can hire out to do cool stuff. So if you know any creators that do editing for video or do on-set work, let us know, and we'd love to give them some money.
Cool. I'm Jason. I'm also from Detroit. No, we have not shot anybody. It's a common. That's actually a more common question you'd think, honestly. Seeing people get shot, that's for another time. Own a creative agency with this guy, and I'd say my ask would be if you guys know any owners or executive level folks at advertising and marketing agencies in the Phoenix area.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bradley, and I'm originally from Kansas, but I've been here in Arizona about 25 years. I am working on launching one business, and hopefully, I'm going to follow it up with several other businesses. There's no hope, no trying, it's doing. My big ask is, at this point, most of my income right now while I'm trying to launch my business is through Ubering. I really could use a job probably where I could work remotely. So if anybody can connect me maybe with somebody who could help me get a job where I'm a hard worker, I'm gonna work harder than anybody else you know and run circles around anybody else that you can hire. I could definitely use something to kind of get me out of driving 40 to 60 hours a week to kind of leverage that. That would help me out greatly.
Hello everyone, I'm Luis Rios. I didn't really know what to expect from here. Ephraim Jr. here invited me along. I'm from Glendale, Arizona. Been here my whole life, my whole family's here. I work for Cox Business. I do sales for businesses, so I sell internet, phone, TV, and all that. I didn't really come to advertise any of that stuff, but I guess my ask would be if you guys know anybody interested in maybe utilizing Microsoft 365 licenses or need additional licenses, I can help with that.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Oscar Silva. We own a private equity company, and we help individuals with homeownership opportunities that don't qualify for traditional bank financing. And at the same time, we also help busy professionals, business owners, how to create a cash flow and build long-term wealth. My ask. We're always looking for deals. If you guys, are in the real estate space and have ever had any deals, we're looking for that, and also capital as well.
Real estate's big. What type of area?
Residential, all residential, yep.
How you guys doing? My name is Ephraim Gomez. What we do is we buy businesses with zero money out of pocket. We just acquired 2 accountant firms, and we help out with the tax strategies. But we don't just do the tax strategy, we do the tax strategy implementation, so we help you the whole process. So people who owe over $20,000 in taxes, we help them maximize that, minimize it, and be able to put it into their future. And we also do the real estate with Oscar. And if my ask is, if you know anybody that's selling an accounting business or a business in that situation, let us know, and we'd be interested.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm a sales manager at Midway Chevrolet. And I'm also part owner of a drywall company, which we've been up for 2 years, have definitely struggled the first 2 years, but this year we're looking a lot better. So my ask would be, if you guys know anybody that, might be able to help me scale my business and be able to just make it grow, essentially.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nico Arapklis. I'm the host of the Just Grow podcast, and we do things kind of unique and different where we do a live podcast in front of an audience. So that's kind of been our model. I've had both of these stellar gentlemen on the podcast, and we're having another one on March 29th, so anyone is welcome to come. I would say my ask right now is if anybody has any advice or perspective on how to grow a podcast, as well any connections with people that have big hearts and big audiences.
Can you give us the name of your podcast so we can also share it?
Just Grow Podcast.
What's up, everybody? My name's Keith. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I'm working on launching a automotive apparel and wall art brand. And my biggest ask would just be to, if anybody has any advice on filming, editing, and posting short form content. So consistently though, consistent, needs to be consistent.
Yep.
My name is Jeremy Ray. I'm from Portland, Oregon. Just moved to Scottsdale, Arizona. I make music, design clothing, do YouTube, and I guess my biggest ask would probably be for other people who are anybody else who does like creative work or creative artwork in any sort of music, clothes, any sort of thing like that, to connect with them and hopefully see where we could collab in some sort of way. So that'd be my biggest ask.
My name's Caleb Hellinger. I own Subscribe PR. It's a public relations company. So we essentially just help companies really build that online presence, social credibility, and just dominate the first page of Google with viral content for their company. And that includes articles and big publications, and also podcast placements and TV appearances as well. I guess my big ask, say just like starting my first team, getting an office, just scaling the company a little bit, hiring some more sales guys. Hired a couple sales guys last year, just like figuring out the whole ebbs and flow of that. So it's a growing process, but excited to be here.
Do you need help with systems and processes?
Yeah, I would say just like, as far as just, getting a couple, just like project manager, writer, sales guy, just how that kind of all works together, and just like the customer experience. So, thank you.
Good evening, my name is Garrick. I'm a UPS store franchise owner. My ask would be that I would like for anyone to share through Blake or anybody here contact information, because I'm looking to start doing major contracts. So if you work for a firm or you work for a company, there's a lot of services that people are not aware of that I can contract on a larger level. For example, in logistics, the VA Medical Center for mailing medications to veterans all across the world, the contract for Phoenix, I got that contract for the VA. The only difference is I don't own that rights to that contract. So now I did it once. Now I believe I can do it for myself. I just need some doors open for that.
Hey everyone, I'm the other Bradley. I never meet anyone who does the full name also, so that's kind of cool. But so I am a broker for precious metals. So anyone who's looking to protect their wealth, hedge against inflation, I like to call it getting government insurance. And so that's one thing. And then the other side of that is I'm a certified tax advisor. So I don't actually do your taxes, but I help you pay less of them. So meeting throughout the year, consulting, strategic planning, that kind of thing. So I'm looking for anyone who's solopreneur, 1099, small business owner, who basically wants to pay less taxes, which I know that's kind of everyone, but anyone who's like, I don't know where to start and I need some help.
I'm good with paying more, dog. It's fine.
Yeah, right. We got one. So that's who I'm looking to connect with. And then with the gold, primarily, like big part of our business is helping people who have 401ks, IRAs, kind of your standard retirement accounts, just, have them be better protected. So that's my ask.
How's it going? My name is Jesse Zamorano. I'm from Yuma, Arizona. I also work with these two gentlemen, with Carlos Reyes and internal teams. My big ask, as you can tell, I'm super young, so any life advice, any sales advice would be great, because I'm just here to really just learn.
Let's go. Pass it to that guy right there, and then if you can, roll it right down the table.
My name is Valentino Castrillo. I work at Midway Chevrolet for the last 5-6 years. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. Besides that, I'm an aspiring media influencer. I'm trying to motivate people to get their mind right, their fitness right, and be able just to get up and do things that they never really would have pushed themselves to do without having to get that little push from somebody, right? My biggest ask would be to connect people to help gain an audience, so that way I can become a better leader and start coaching people to do the right things.
Let's go.
Hi, my name's Damian Jackson. I am from Safford, Arizona. Just moved here to Scottsdale about a year ago. I am in the fine dining industry and in the beginning stages of building a nonprofit. And my biggest ask is actually for my badass wife who isn't here tonight. If you have anyone who needs designs done, anything as far as like the graphic design, videography, photography, she just designed the front of Iron Man magazine and just increased profit for her company by 30% because of the ClickFunnels she designed. So if you have any leads on that,
I want you to come up with an ask for your nonprofit.
For my nonprofit. Anyone who's ever started a nonprofit and kind of knows the logistics of that, I'd love to get with you and kind of figure all that out.
Have you met the lady sitting next to you?
What's up?
Have you met the lady sitting next to you?
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
There we go.
You need to meet her.
Okay, perfect.
Hello, I am Dawn Marie, founder of HELP, Homeless Engagement Lift Partnership. We work with children and families that experience homelessness out in our community. So we work with at-risk, displaced, and homeless children in 23 school districts. So my ask tonight is that we are growing our education piece for life skills for all of these children that need hope.
Thank you, Don.
My name's Michael Rappaport, also with HELP, and I'm super young too, by the way. But what we're asking for also, I'm also with HELP, and what we're asking for is to build our board. We want to improve it and strengthen the spectrum of industry that has representation on that board. And so that is something that we're strongly trying to look for.
Alrighty, was that too hard, guys? Saw a little bit of some uncomfortability. Let's get you comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm right here. Apologize. All right.
Hold on, we gotta.
Wait, on staying right there?
I got you.
No.
I've watched you
I
too
got
many
it.
times.
I got it.
All right.
We're good. Hi, everyone. I'm Clayton, otherwise known as Production Daddy. I know it's quite the name, but thank you. So basically, I work with just about every type of industry, and my big purpose is to bring a personal touch to everyone's brand, because I think that's important, especially nowadays, because authenticity is the number one thing. Because if you're trying to be fake, you're not going to make it. So note, if you're trying to start YouTube and stuff, authenticity. And if you watch this guy's videos, you'll definitely understand where authenticity is like the biggest thing. So my biggest ask is I would like to work with high ticket clients. Also, I enjoy doing interviews and telling stories. So if anyone has a cool story to tell or documentaries, want me to jump out of a helicopter and film you, I'll do it. So thank you, guys.
He just did it last weekend.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ariana Aguirre. Nice to meet you all. Give me 1 second. So I am born and raised here in Arizona. I'm 24 years old, and my industry is real estate, so I'm in real estate investing. Hello. Nice to meet you. So basically the way I work in real estate is through pre-foreclosures. So I help families out of pre-foreclosure situations by acquiring their home and helping them move on to their next chapter and their next home. So if you guys know anyone that's in that situation, I would love that referral so I can help those families out. Another thing is I do multifamily. So right now we're currently starting our fund to start raising capital to invest into big multifamily projects. I'm talking big, like over 100 units per acquired property. So if you guys would like the multifamily qualification form in order to, if you're interested in our fund and want to learn more about the types of properties we're looking to acquire, then please let me know and I will gladly share that with you all. Thank you.
Yeah. Alrighty, did everybody go? Sweet.
Got the baby.
She's also raising capital for multifamily, so we can acquire Optima. Optima is about a 5,000 unit project, so we want to buy this place. All right, so you guys like that? Do we make it easier? So the reason why we do that and why I like that is we've all been to networking events where it's hard to go meet somebody and talk and hurt your voice yelling over music, right? So now you guys know everybody's name, what they do, and how you could be of contribution to them. So over the next hour, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do an opportunity seat first. I'm gonna talk a little bit about what's on the screen behind me. Then we're gonna do an opportunity chair where whoever wants to take the hot seat, come up here and we work on your business, your ask. After that, we'll break out and do networking till 9. So we got the room till 9. All right, so a little bit behind me, we got the Ideal app. Now, the Ideal app is designed, we created a process and a system, talking about processes and systems, to help you master your habits. So whatever habits that you need to break, no matter what level of business you're in or level of life you're in, the process and system, if you follow it every single day, you will rewire your mind to create that subconscious habit. What we do is through our elite level coaching program is we coach you through this process and system so that way we can make success habits subconscious in your life. So one thing that's been for me, I'll tell you guys a little bit quick, I'll keep it short too, in a nutshell, my story, is I grew up in poverty. I think the most money I've seen come into the household was about 30 to 40 grand a year. I was the type of kid that if it rained outside, if you guys see the rain here in Arizona this week, I'm the person that just like, all right, I'm just gonna stay up and sit on the couch all night because I don't know if my room is gonna cave in, if the kitchen room's gonna cave in, if my mom's room's gonna cave in, or the living room is gonna cave in. So I'm just rather gonna just stay awake. And so that was the lifestyle I grew up in. Whenever I got to leave high school and I came out here to Arizona, I started entrepreneurship. I started doing some entrepreneur online stuff. And then I realized all the successful people, why is it that my mom can work 3 jobs, but yet we still got collections calling our phone? But I could watch the person online not work, and he got the Lamborghini, he got the house, he got the vacations, and he has all that going on. So I started diving deeper into what is this guy doing that we're not doing? And I found out it was the habits he created for himself to build the businesses that he was building. And so habits changed my life. So that's what we did. Blake and I came together and we put together a process and a system to help you master your habits so you can master your life. And we do that through offering elite level coaching to make it happen. We have people like James Dixon, Greg Reed, Sharon Lecter, and many, many more names come on and help educate you guys as well. So you guys get proximity, right, to high level people that are actually doing it. We call them world authority experts, not influencers, right? People that have been there and done that. So let's dive into this opportunity seat right here. So what we're gonna do is what we just did, right? But this time we're gonna dive deeper into your business. So the person, anybody who wants to volunteer, come in the opportunity seat, go ahead.
You want to give an example?
Yeah. Well, Nick will be our example. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a minute. He's gonna tell his story, tell him where his business is at, what he's looking for. We're gonna spend a couple minutes, go around the room, get clarifying questions, right? If you need to ask him a question to know a little bit more so you got more clarity of what he really needs, then we're gonna stop, we're gonna go around the room and we're gonna give feedback now on what you suggest he could possibly do to change whatever he's looking for. Come right on up.
Cool, I'm mic'd up.
Yes, sir.
We good?
Yeah. So first, again, your name. What is it that you do? And then what is it that you're looking for? What's your big ask again?
Yeah, so my name is Nico Arapkos. Good to meet y'all. I'm a host of the Just Grow podcast. So that's our main focus with getting more exposure, connecting with people, and throwing events is a big component of our business. And then on the backside is that we have a coaching program. And within that coaching program, we have these things called vision videos, which is basically it's an advanced version of a vision board. Everyone familiar with a vision board? Yeah, so we've basically taken that concept, but then we emotionalize it, we make it captivating, So then people watch it and actually feel their vision come into life, and then because of that, it actually comes to fruition a lot quicker.
Absolutely. So now, what's your biggest ask, and what is it that you need help with immediately right now? What's the next step you need help with?
I'd say probably like one of the biggest asks that I could have is I'm in the process of creating a process for managing my DMs.
Okay.
Because I get a lot of DMs, and I really value the integrity of my brand, keeping the experience, because that's how I've built it up into this point. But I also realize that I don't have the capacity to handle my DMs. I want to have somebody that can basically duplicate me in my DMs, that can continue to nurture all the people that are coming through while funneling them into our coaching program.
Okay, so I'll start it with the clarifying question, then anybody who has clarifying questions just ask.
Fire off. You want to ask questions so we get to know.
So my first question would be, what have you tried in the past for automating that, if anything?
I wouldn't say there's any like we're definitely using stuff like ManyChat,
Okay.
where we can use some type of automations, but I think it is such an intuitive process that it's more about finding the right person rather than automating it.
Gotcha.
But also I'm open to the fact that that could be a limiting belief.
Cool.
And you got a VA before? You tried a VA?
I have.
And you, like...
Our processes weren't clear enough, so it wasn't the right time, and it was, yeah, it was someone that wasn't the right fit.
So have you ever thought about using a CRM to do that? So there's a CRM called Go High Level, where you can take your Instagram and put it into Go High Level. So the only thing they can see is just the DMs that are coming in. And then you hire a VA, hire somebody on the low end, and basically you create automated text messages to have them respond to how the people respond. So how we use it is one of my guys will respond.
Hold up. That's feedback. So just clarifying questions right now. We'll get to
questions, feedback now.
Gotcha.
All right, any more clarifying questions to ask? Go ahead.
You mentioned that your process wasn't fully baked when you got your VA.
Correct.
Are you fully baked on that? Is that something that you've grown? Is that
Yes,
the next step?
we've grown it a lot more.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
Is your system dialed in now in your process? Like it's on point, ready to go? Okay.
Have you tried to bring on like an actual employee or an executive assistant or anything to do that part for you? No?
It could be social media manager too, it sounds like, so I could be double too.
Anything else?
Any other questions?
What's the vision for the company?
There's two parts. One part of the vision is it's always like podcast as well as the coaching company. Podcast is to do a stadium event at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix within the next 3 years, preferably. Coaching company, it's always been in the back of our minds to make it a $100 million company, just because we know that the impact that will bring, and just get these vision videos in as many people's hands as possible, because we've seen the impact that it brings in a moment.
So we considered using AI?
Yeah, we've been definitely utilizing some AI features, and it's in the back of our mind to get to the point where we have that like fully integrated.
What's kind of like the most common conversation that you're having in the DMs that you actually need somebody to reply against?
Say it one more time.
Like, what's the most common conversation you're getting in the DMs that you're like, okay, I need to offload this to somebody else to have this conversation for me?
Right now, so essentially the process that we've built, we kind of have a 2-stage process with our DMs. It's more of like kind of almost gatekeeping the introductory people that are just getting introduced to the brand, so we can nurture them. And then once they're quote unquote activated, where they're like, hey, I want to know more information, we switch them over to more of like an appointment setting type of slots, so then we can transition them into more of a conversation around getting involved in our coaching program.
Okay, and is that to your personal page or to the company page?
We're just building that all on my personal page right now, because that's where we're getting more traffic, but eventually we'll turn that into our podcast page as well.
Is that transitioning to a sale?
Yeah.
Do you have a screening down at this point of basically triaging the DMs that come in and where they go, where they fit best, and how to address?
Yeah, have you identified the funnels of
Yeah,
the
funnels,
types of
yeah.
the types of
The
DMs?
pipelines of how, like this can go over here, it can be dealt with, this is a little bit more important.
I guess that's probably the area that we definitely deserve to get more clarity on, because it just feels like everything I've built is very intuitive, so it's like, that's why I'm doing my best to build it into a process where we can be like, okay, that person needs to go there, that person needs to go there. Up until now, it's just been like, all right, yeah, that person should go there.
So the end goal for the DMs is a sign up for your training program, or is there something else?
Sorry?
And so when you have people in the DMs, what's the end goal? Is it to have people sign up for the program?
Yeah.
Okay, so the product is the coaching.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, feedback. Anybody want to give feedback?
What type of coaching is it?
Mindset coaching. Yeah, subconscious work.
Nice. Yeah, to kind of show you an example.
I was like, I'll share your feedback.
Yeah, so to kind of show you an example, so obviously Carlos has 500,000 followers on Instagram. So what we do is we'll run an ad, whether it's a boost, whether it's this, whether it's that, and it gauges a response because it has a click link on it. So they click it, and we're asking basically if they're a business owner, right? To kind of show you an example, what it'll do is it'll come in and go high level, and then they'll just respond. So let's go to this one right here. They said, yes, we do. So they own a business. And it says, reaching out, what business do you operate and where? Small batch jerky company out of Southern California. Love it. How long have you been in business? Da, 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 da.
Okay, real quick, time purposes.
I'll make it quick.
Networking
So
stuff.
CRM like this is one of those things that can help you optimize the amount, the filtering through people that are serious or people that are curious.
Okay.
That's why we're open up for networking agencies. Any other feedback?
Also, to bounce off the Go High Level thing real quick, you can run all your conversations through Go High Level. So it's all in one place and streamlined, so you can always track back all conversation history, the quality check whoever you have like communicating for you, and make sure it's like on the pod that you guys are wonderful. So
You can also post everything through Go High Level too, at one time. Instead of
badass software.
I have Go High Level, I just haven't been using this functionality.
Feedback.
Since you want to have an end goal of being at Chase Field, we wanted to know if you participate annually at the business forum that they have every year. So I would start doing that. It's a sign up thing, and that way that's a network in itself, like you're here at a network, so some people there might be an answer question, but at the same time, you're already establishing your face within the Chase organization, which is what I've been doing for the last 15, 17 years. Every year I participate in this free, but you get a lot out of it.
What's the organization called?
It's a business forum that they hold. It's usually in August, October timeframe every year.
Business forum.
Yeah. It's, all business owners can sign up. They get a booth. You don't have to pay. You get tickets, games. You meet everybody. It's a big social event. So, who puts that on? Chase Field. Chase Field. Yeah.
My feedback would be, now that you have kind of the system and process for replying, after setting up something like that automation with the Go High Level, is hire a VA, and for the first like 3 months, have your VA, like I have all my VAs on WhatsApp, and just as soon as they get a reply, they send me screenshots. How do I reply to this? And I just reply to there, and they start keeping a document. I have a document on Google Drive that says working and testing replies. So everything that I'm testing, all my replies that I'm testing, go on the testing form. And once it starts to work and get the conversation to the next level, then I can put that on the working reply, and I take them through there. Once I'm done with that process, because I'm going through that right now through my LinkedIn strategy, and so once I'm done, now I can just easily pass that off to a VA to do full time. But it's just working with your VA, screen recording, or having them send you screenshots of the DM they don't know how to answer. And then soon enough they'll be, this is how Nick would answer.
Just to rebuttal off of that, would it be better to say for efficiency purposes that you already curate that document, so to speak, because you said you're coming from a personal respect of how you would respond, and then pass it on to your VA so that you're not having to go back and forth of should I say this or should I not?
I say both. Anything you already have documented that you know work, create that right now, and then anything that comes up new, always document that.
Like for us, we've been working with our VAs for almost 5 years now. It's the same VAs. Like our VAs, like they know, like we can just say do this and it comes out just how we want it, like from our head.
You see that design right there?
That's our VAs made all that.
The first design my VA made, trash. Like 5 years ago. Now, I just say, hey, make me some, and it comes back, first try, done, ready to go, because they understand the brand, they understand how your mind thinks, they understand the vision you're trying to get across. The longer you work with a VA, the more they're gonna understand you, just almost like an executive assistant should.
Where did you find your VAs and where are they?
I use ripplevas.com. Anybody in the room, ripplevas.com, that's what I use. You might have other recommendations as well.
VAs are any good.
He's got some too, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, any other feedback? All right, we're good to go. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank
Who's
you.
next? Who wants to get in the hot seat? Thank you. Who's up next? Hot seat, hot seat.
It takes place in the Legends Forum, in the Legends Forum of the arena. So on that level is where this takes place. So if you contact them, you say it's a business events that they hold in the Legends suites. And it's every year. So
Depending on our time frame, we got room for one or two more. So I will pick on you guys because this is where you guys get nervous. This is where people start stepping back. This is a chance to build your business. We got millionaires in the room. We got people that have successful companies in the room. We got people that could get you reviews, people that could get your processes and system locked in. Like you have no clue. This is why no one has name tags. You have no clue who's sitting next to you. You need to run a nonprofit. You have a successful person running a nonprofit sitting right next to you that's been doing it for, So it's like you never know who's in the room who can actually help you. So who's next?
I'll go again. Come on, baby, someone. Come on, dog. Oh, I moved it, sorry.
All right. Question for Nick real quick. Did you feel like you got served very good? Okay, so again, name, what do you do, and what's your big need right now, and ask again.
My name's Alex. I currently am a part owner of a drywall company that has been running for 2 years. First 2 years, we're just fresh business owners trying to get everything, going, and it's been really, really tough, right? And I essentially just help in being able to scale it, being able to also be more profitable as well. So yeah, essentially.
Okay, clarifying questions.
Who's your clientele?
Um,
Number one clientele.
Renovation companies, and we're also looking into getting with builders currently.
How big is your company, like size of number of employees and people?
Right now, at the moment, we're 15 employees.
15?
Yes.
Who answers the phone if somebody calls?
So the phone calls usually come to me, but I'm also a sales manager at a Chevy dealership, so sometimes, answering the phone and being able to manage both can sometimes, be a little bit tough, so
How much revenue do you think you're losing a year by doing that?
quite a bit.
How many people own the company with you?
It's me and a partner.
Okay.
Is your partner full-time with the company?
Yes.
He is?
Yes, he's full-time.
How far out do you service?
I'm sorry?
How far out do you service?
Oh yeah, all over the Phoenix area. We've gone as far as up to Prescott. We've gone down to Yuma.
There is a limit, there's a line.
Arizona?
No, yeah, Arizona.
So you're capable at this point, if you got a job that was in Flagstaff?
Yeah. Yeah, we did a job in Flagstaff actually about 6 months ago.
How do you get your business?
We're driving around, we see a van with a renovation company, take a picture of it, we call it, ask them for work, or sometimes on my days off, I'll drive around Paradise Valley. If I see anybody breaking ground, call the builder, see if they send me their plans, and I'll bid them.
If someone were to ask you what sets you apart from your competition, i.e. why should they hire you, what would your answer be?
Definitely quality. I mean, the guys that we have, I mean, when it comes to texture, they're right on. I mean, it's great.
Can you guys do any type of drywall?
Yeah. Yeah, and we've actually, our goal this year is to also get into, get our painting license. So after drywall, we're also gonna do the
Do you
painting.
have a portfolio for work that you've done in the past already?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a portfolio for work you've done in the past already?
Yes, we're also, one thing I definitely wanna do, which we did when we first started, but we kinda slacked off on it, was actually having like a page where we showed our work and, you know, anytime I go ask for a bid or talk to anybody, I have something to show for it. So I definitely wanna get back on that.
So is that kind of your online presence then?
Yeah.
So like Instagram, do you have a website?
Yeah, yeah, Instagram, we do have a website.
Facebook, all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how are you utilizing your social media? Is it more on the scheme of posting just to post, or is there actual strategy behind it?
I would probably say we lack on an actual strategy, right? It's more of just, posting, just getting our name out and hopefully somebody, sends us,
Ads?
yeah, plans or anything like that, but, I don't do ads currently.
Did you say renovation or restoration?
Restoration, I'm sorry.
So like water damage,
Mhm.
things like that?
Restoration, yeah.
So do you have an offer that you would propose to these restoration companies, like some kind of exclusive offer to just them?
Not necessarily. So essentially they would send me, whatever jobs they have and we'll bid them. But we do have, very good relationships with a few, restoration companies that we tend to use us.
Awesome. How about email marketing? Do any like email marketing, scrape any lists, pushing?
Yeah, so, whenever, if I Google a restoration company or whatnot, I'll, just type in an email, ask for work, ask for any plans that they might have.
So not any, like, you don't do any mass email marketing?
I don't, no. No,
Yeah,
not
you ever
really.
done direct mailing?
No. not
Yeah, that's a
really.
big thing, I'll be honest with you, for restoration, all that stuff, you guys did a real clean thing and all that stuff, and then you could direct mail, and you could pick your area codes everywhere, and you could have it specifically go there. And
Okay.
it's cheaper, but you could probably pick up a lot of business.
Is there a specific company that you would?
I'll get with you after.
Do you work or speak with any insurance carriers that you put you in contact with restoration?
I don't, no, I haven't spoken to any insurance companies, no.
And,
So they work hand in hand with insurance carriers?
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
Definitely.
Where's your landing page impressions on Google?
I'm sorry?
Where's your website impressions on Google? What page number does it come up?
If you Google, if you Google the actual name, it comes up.
Immediately? If I were to Google restoration, Phoenix, Arizona,
It won't come up as that. You'd have to Google the actual.
who did your SEO?
What do you mean by this, yeah?
Search optimization.
Oh,
So just writing it on your content within your website, you're using keyword triggers so that when people do search certain things, the system is recognizing those keywords and then it actually pushes up your website to Google.
yeah, the company we use is PageUp that was helping us with that, but I mean, I've definitely been trying to find somebody else that might be able to help me out a little bit better.
Definitely. Last question is, are you involved in any real estate communities?
No.
Okay.
That'll be huge.
I have a connection for you.
Okay.
All right, feedback.
Talk to this guy about LinkedIn strategy and how outreach to people on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I would like to ask also a question. How did you and your partners get together in the business? Experience in construction?
He has all the experience in the construction. I help more with like the funds and whatnot and being able to get it started up.
But is that something you want to do to get out of the car business?
Yes, my end goal is to be able to get out of the car business, focus on that, and someday be able to just work in or own real estate and cash flow and whatnot.
I want to make another suggestion, get with property management companies, both commercial and residential. They always have need for trades.
Okay.
Get in real estate groups,
Yeah.
because these people, they're doing fix and all that stuff and everything, when they need something done right away, and you can pick up the phone and you got a number that you can go, it's nice.
Okay.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what he said, connect with insurance companies, because when somebody gets water damage or some type of damage to their house, insurance first want to pick it up and pick up the phone and call somebody to go fix it. So definitely call and get contracts with insurance companies.
And they'll get you other restoration companies.
Yeah.
Restoration companies.
And then I just want to confirm, you want to expand, so the business is there. What's keeping you from the expansion part of it? Is it the lack of workers, not enough time, not a solid basic plan, strategic plan? Because you're saying that you want to get out of where you're at too. So have you put together a business plan that shows you in that position, hypotheticals and things like that? I think that would be a good way to start, if that's what you want to do, to get out of it, so you can move forward and make that accepting more jobs or not accepting the job and find out what's keeping you from expanding. Because it sounds like you know the business, you gotta do great work. The business is out there, there's different sources, but you said you want to expand, yet you're not expanding.
Right. I guess it's essentially having a clear vision of and a clear plan of what we want to do.
Yeah, so that kind of builds a time frame of when you wanna quit your normal job and just do that full time.
Yeah. I don't have an exact time frame, but which
Pick a time
I
frame.
should.
What's the time frame? Give me a date.
A year.
6 months. 1 year?
1
6
year.
months? Okay, cool, so 1 year.
1 year.
Any other feedback?
Go ahead.
Suggestion?
Yeah, feedback and suggestions.
The easiest way to start now is assign somebody else to answer the phone.
Correct.
Because you answered yourself earlier, you're losing a lot of money by you not being able to pick up the phone. Your partner, who's in the business full time, should be the one picking up the phone.
Get all that business, scale it so that you can step away.
Piggybacking on what he said, watching your cash flow in that business is critical because it could put you out of business.
Yeah.
Any other feedback?
So find out exactly what you want to do, where you want to be revenue wise or a year from now. So identify how much would it take for you to leave the car business to then run that full time. But also find a company in the valley that's doing what your vision already wants to do and see if they're interested in just selling. You might be interested in just retiring or moving on. So then you might be able to just acquire that and just take their business and then scale that. You'd be surprised how much easier it is to buy a company that's already fully operational than to build it yourself. So if you can leverage that, that would be my suggestion. And I can relate to you because my background is in the car business too. So I wanted to get out of the business so bad that I wanted to try anything. So that's why I asked you, how did you guys partner up? Because if you're just trying to find a way out, you're gonna go back in somehow, some way.
Yeah. Well,
So,
yeah, we grew up together, and he's always been in construction, and he got tired of working hourly and wanted to start his own thing, but didn't need help with capital and whatnot. I decided
you funded him.
I decided to partner up with him.
Nice. Yeah.
Any other feedback?
Once you have a little more structure, I mean, Google Ads or local service ads, so there's type in drywall, and you pop up for the valley area. It's a great way to do it too. So you get a little bit more structure and direction before you go on that route. And then also, if you want to do something manual, it doesn't have to be super manual, but just like scraping email list of all restoration companies in the valley or home building companies in the valley, and just sending them an email with an offer.
To piggyback off that, we own a data company where we'll skip trace them for you. So if you want to get with me, I can help you with that.
Okay, definitely.
I would definitely say pick an area of town that you want to be in. All of Arizona is huge.
Yeah.
Okay? You ride around Paradise Valley, go find real estate agent groups that are in that area. Talk to them. Get in their back pocket. They always need another guy. And then you'll find the company to buy because they'll go, oh, Larry's selling his paint company. He wants to buy out where you can buy it for nothing. You're going to pay him the rate. So you can get some really serious things and then you're in that area. So they like serving those specific areas. So do that.
Alrighty, thank you, brother, appreciate you. One last person. Let's do that. We'll take about 5 to 10 minutes on the next person, and then we'll break up. So we'll have a good solid 35 to 45 minutes. We can all network, get to talk, exchange numbers, and help each other. Who wants to come up?
Somebody who hasn't gone.
Was that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Name, what you do, where do you need help?
My name is Valentino Castrillo. I sell cars. I've been selling cars for the last 6-7 years. I'm looking for a way out of the business, right? I have 2 kids at home that I'm trying to spend some more time with, but also flourish life and prosper as well. The thing that I've opened up to more lately is the social media, making content, trying to lead people in the right way, do the right things. I understand that trying to get an audience, right, you have to take lead first. And so that's right now what I'm doing by getting fitness, my mind right, just taking action, right? Taking action and yeah, just trying to gain that audience. I'd be open. I'm open-minded. I'm a hard worker. I listen. I pick up on things quick. So I'm here to just trying to gain traction on some type of movement.
Yeah,
for
So
sure.
why do you want to do that?
Ever since I was younger, I've always seen those guys like Eric Thomas, or even now you have Bradley, you have Andy Elliott, who come from the sales, well, the car sales, you know. And so I like that. I get myself up motivated in the morning, ready to go. Sometimes I'm not a big energy drinker. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I just wake up energized, ready to go, and ready to attack and conquer the day, whatever that might be at hand, right? And so I know a lot of times people have a hard time just waking up like that. And so that's kind of something I could push off. I've been in sales all my life. I do pretty well at car sales. And so that's also one of the only talent skills that I really have. And so I'm just trying to make a maneuver and find a way for myself to make that work for me.
So I'm gonna ask the same question I asked him, but what date do you wanna leave?
As soon as possible. As soon as I'm ready to go. I'm definitely a risk taker. And so once I'm intrigued, I'm bought in. I'm fully bought in. I'm ready to go. Like, call me in 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whenever it's time to meet up and put in some work, gain some knowledge, or do something. I'm the guy that's going to be there on time, probably 30 minutes before. And so,
is there a product or service that you plan on adding to your content to be able to move it?
yes, in time, I would like to develop like a coaching, whether it's making smart financial decisions, if you need help buying a car, if you need help learning how to sell a car, things of that nature. I like to teach off of my personal experiences that I've gone through myself, because really that's the only way I can actually lead you in the right direction, just off my personal experiences, right? But I also like to communicate with people and hear what they've been through as well, so that way I can kind of lead the next person on, like, hey, well, actually I was talking to this gentleman and he gave me this type of information, so maybe that could be informative to you and point you in the right direction. I like to connect people with people, so that way we could try to all help each other and, you know, build a relationship.
You got some energy, yes you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I thought I just saw the Energizer Bunny up there. That's good. Clarifying question.
Who's your target audience?
My target audience are the people who have problems getting up and doing the things that they need to, whether that's going to the gym, taking the initiative to do the right things, eat the right food, even just getting into a commission.
Of the world?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But even get into just getting into commission-based job where they get out of that hourly mindset and they get into something that might flourish them.
What platforms are you currently using versus the platforms that you think are going to be more effective for you?
Right now I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I do need to get on YouTube, like making YouTube reels, things like that. But that is where I'm currently at.
Consider a podcast?
I haven't considered one, but I have been in touch with people who want to start their own podcast. And so I've also invested into myself with getting like mentors, so that way I can try to develop a mindset of these people who've done things that I haven't, been places that I haven't, right? And try to get into that. But I've had the conversation with people who do want to start a podcast, yes.
What kind of content are you currently posting?
Right now, my thing, I got the 5 a.m. club where I'm waking up every morning at 4:45 at the gym at 5 a.m. For the most part, yep, I'm filming everything, but hey, just keeping everybody accountable in the morning. I've been getting a lot of that, where people are like, hey man, I see you getting up early in the morning. I'm liking that. I'm gonna tap in with you. And people will call me, hey, I'm here just to let me know, like I'm up. Send me a text message, or are you there? I'll call them right away, keep them accountable, you know, and just getting that personal relationship with the people, because they're, you know, when they do something different that's ordinary in their life, they want to be surrounded with people like that, and so I want to surround myself with people like that, and so yeah, it's just a energy creates energy type of motivation for me.
Do you do this currently at a dealership right now with any salespeople?
So I do. Actually, how I got involved with it is a gentleman who came to the dealership recently. He he has a big following, and
Who's that?
his name is Sheridan Vandecruz. And so he put me onto all this, and I'm like, you know what, I could actually do something like that. He showed me his stuff, and he's opened up for 5,000, 10,000 people, and he just goes on stage, motivating them, giving them skills, or talking to them about service he offers, or a mindset, right? And so I was like, if this guy could do it, I could definitely do it. I have energy, and I have some type of knowledge about just being motivated, really, just a motivated individual. And so that's how I got into it.
Do they help the staff?
It's rubbing off on the staff right now. Everybody's getting more energized. Everybody, they're asking what's going on. I'm seeing you. Like they're viewing everything, and it's starting to follow at work. Like everybody at work, hey, we asked, did you get up this morning? Did you go hit the gym before you came into work? And we start at work at 8 a.m. And so we know we have the time to get there, And so it's starting to rub off on people. Is everybody taking the foot first? No, but yes, some are. We have about 4 or 5 of us actually that are in our little group that do it. Alex being one of them, myself being another, and then just a few other gentlemen who are just starting to join our community. I like to call, right? I like to call it.
What process do you have for them to commit to you, and how are you committing to them? So if I started like this, and then I hit you in the DM or whatever, and then after that, is it just all on me, or is there a system you have in place right now that you say you have 25 people that are committed to you, and you committed to those 25 to build because TikTok and social media is just the world.
Right.
But how committed can you be to the world if you haven't been committed to a small space?
And that's where I'm starting to gain traction and build my own audience by leading, right? So you got to lead by example in my eyes. And so that's why I'm getting up every morning at 5 a.m. to show where I'm at, to show the work that I'm putting in
All right, we're
currently.
gonna switch to feedback. How long have you been doing it for, real quick?
Honestly, I've been doing this for the last month and a half.
There you go. So that will help you answer a lot of your questions you guys just asked.
Yeah, a month and a half.
All right, feedback.
Sounds like you're finding your niche in your community, which is really cool with the accountability thing. Are you capturing them anywhere? And if not, what is your main platform so I can give you an answer on that?
My main platform is Instagram.
Okay.
And can you ask one more time if I'm capturing them?
You have all these people who interact with you. Are you collecting them anywhere? Is there a place for them to go to call home in your community?
No, not yet. But I'm not afraid to give out my phone number or even my Instagram. And I'm always on my phone anyways. I'll reply quick. I answer when I can, and I'm quick to give a call back.
If Instagram is your main place, the best way to collect all those people is through, it's like a text channel.
Okay.
That you can build for yourself. I'll show you whether or not in this big group setting.
Yeah.
But you can collect people all there where they can interact with each other. That's going to be the most important thing with the community, is not just with you, but with everyone else.
Try to keep your feedback short and your answer short too as well.
I know it's brief at this point, but measuring feedback or measuring the data on improvement, even at this early stage, is good because you'll look back and be able to see, how it's improving, and that will be something that you can sell
Yes.
for future connections and business.
Try to niche down your audience as well. You mentioned Bradley and Elliott. They're 2 different types of car salespeople. Brad decided he wanted to help people, so he created the Lightspeed BT. And then Andy wants to motivate killer hungry salespeople. So figure out which one you want to be if you want to emulate those 2.
Niche down would help you a lot.
I would also look at your actual insights on Instagram to see which content focus is performing better versus depending on all your posts to perform.
Yeah.
I would say there's a lot of dope coaches in the room. Pay a coach to make you a better coach and then for you to lead people.
And take the organic route. You're talking to people in your industry. Go next door, right? Talk to those guys.
Yeah.
Invite them, right? Personally, and say this is what we're doing.
And speaking of organic, I would recommend that you don't recycle or repeat your content amongst platforms. I know it seems like a lot of work, but the platforms recognize when it is recycled content or if it was essentially posted elsewhere. So you can still do the same thing conceptually, but film it in a different way.
The other thing I was gonna say is to create more engagement, like kind of gamify what you're already doing. So you're doing the fitness check-ins and everything, that's awesome, but a lot of like what those people do that make them really successful is they turn it into a competition in some sense that creates more engagement in what they're doing. And it also incentivizes those people that are already following you to then engage with people around them because they're like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Let me go to my wife. She can be a part of this, and so on and so forth. Build a network for you as well.
75 harder than the other. Or not Andy, I'm sorry, Andy Forsyth.
Yeah.
Feedback?
I would start with where you're at now, the car dealership, and apply the 12 steps into your own niche, like your own group that you're already working with.
Yep.
Create the results right there because you already have credibility. You have the daily feedback. You're together every day for 18 hours a day. So start around that, and then social media content that around it. So it's like it's growing organically.
Yeah.
And just start with the car dealership right there. Right there is your whole database. The clients that you sell cars to.
Yeah.
And just grow it. Like you're right there where you need to be.
Any other feedback?
I'll say one thing. I think something that's really, really powerful that a lot of people are overlooking right now is humor and entertainment. The more funny you can be, the more engaging you can be, I think just plays tenfold. I started putting humor into my content and people just like lose their shit and start sharing it all the time.
Yeah.
And they don't even realize that it's because I have a bigger impact mission behind everything. But it's like those posts are the things that like pop and make it go viral. And then I can start speaking about the stuff I really want to right? Trick people with humor.
Yeah.
Cody Sperber is a good person to watch for the humor side.
I would say map out what it is you want to earn, so that way you know exactly what you need to earn milestone-wise, so you can leave that position ASAP.
Yeah.
Any other feedback?
Set a date.
Date.
Not ASAP, like 2 months,
No,
5
yeah.
months, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at that deadline. So yeah.
Also, create the results, but make it quantifiable. Like if you have someone else, another salesperson sell from 10 cars to 20 cars, now you can say, I helped this guy increase 100% production in 30 days. So if
Got
that
it.
sells more, then I can help you sell more cars.
Yeah.
That's just air.
Yeah.
But 10 more cars in 30 days, I can show you how to do it.
That's a number, yeah.
There's more strategy around it. And again, you can start right in the circle you're in right now. Everybody in the car dealership needs it.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, no, that's for sure true.
I
And that's
think the space and industry that you're trying to be in, it can be easy for you to talk at people, but that's not what people are really interested in. So keep in mind that you want to keep them more like life involved.
Yeah.
People do well with comedy, but they also do well with fixating on their own life and feeling like they're a part of that.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind when you're making your content.
For sure.
All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Alrighty, did everybody get some good feedback? You guys have fun tonight?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, we got about 35 to 40 minutes. We have this room until 9 o'clock. Mix, mingle, talk, grab names and numbers, connect. Now you guys know what everyone does, you know what everybody needs help with, and let's help each other out. The last few things, app waitlist, guys, join the app waitlist. We're launching in March. If anybody's looking to join the Master Your Habits, Master Your Life program, please come to myself, Mike, or Alejandro on the back, and we'll kind of give you some more details on that. And then, like I said, app waitlist is right here, so join it, get ready for launch. And thank you for everybody coming out tonight, all the new faces. We appreciate you guys. This event is the first Thursday of every single month, guys. The same room, everything, and also building 7140. So I know, and if you guys look, when you go to Eventbrite, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the Eventbrite, and then for anybody you guys invite, let them know that the instructions are how to get here, because obviously there's 6 of these damn buildings all the way around, and you walk up and it's like, which one do I go to? And it's not like you can just see through to where we're at. So every first Thursday of the month, guys come out, you guys can invite friends, family, business owners, CEOs, entrepreneurs, sales professionals, and let us help you guys connect those people and help you guys build your businesses too as well. So again, thank you guys for all coming out tonight. Appreciate you guys. We have about 40 minutes to kind of network and talk. Please drive safe. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and if you guys need anything, myself and Michael are here for you.